Hi, hello. Welcome, I think. It's been a while, so for reasons, because I was on vacation and it was busy and I didn't feel like making a video, and now I do, so voila. Okay, there's something I wanted to talk about. Probably I will be making blatantly wrong assumption in this video. If you notice them, please correct me. I don't mind. I prefer you correct them than when you leave me be on the interweb full of mistakes. So voila. What I wanted to talk about is FE versus FI. And I don't mean in a very coherent and structured explanation of how these functions work exactly, but more how I experience them, because to be honest, I don't really think I could explain them practically. I probably could. Sometimes I do it, but I get off track a lot, so yeah, we're not going to do that. Why specifically that? Because I'm sort of experiencing what I can only describe as a very, very FE pull, or there's something going on, and I notice I'm really craving social things. Yeah, you see all this wonderful eloquence. No, I don't really know how to describe it. I notice myself being drawn more towards doing stuff with people, which might seem yeah, okay, so what? But normally I'm not really that keen on it. Don't get me wrong, I like doing lots of fun stuff with people, but normally I'm quite particular of what people I want to hang out with. It's not that I'm no longer that, but there's more of an urge inside me to want to go out and make connections with people. Of course, not to talk about my feelings and all of that. I mean, no problem in doing that, but it's not my it's not my particular favorite topic of conversation. I think the main difference is what I'm trying to convey, as usual in my very meandering fashion, is there's this desire in me to have more people around me. I've always been sort of a loner. I don't know if loner is the correct word, but as far as I know, I don't really know any other NT girls. Hey, who knows? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm an ENFP. You never know. I don't really know any other NT girls. Probably, I mean, in real life, maybe one. And she's kind of awesome if she's effectively an ENTP, but I'm not quite certain. No, or she's effectively an NT anyhow. So it was more. I was more kind of a loner by circumstances rather than by choice. But it never really bothered me. And then in my early 20s, I sort of kind of found more of my peeps, and I'm not talking about NT specifically, but more intuitive people, and that made it a big difference for me, because, well, it was the first time I could easy and flowy have that kind of banter and the typical NE humor, you know. It's something I think quite particular. Sometimes SE can do it as well. But anyhow, but even then I never really had that urge to go out and find new people to add to my flock of people. I, Actually, I even dislike it because I'm not really a big fan of shallow contacts. If there's nothing of substance to be said, it doesn't need to be heavy, but there needs to be something to hold my attention, because otherwise I'm just 3 minutes in the conversation, I'm drifting away. So, oh, sorry, you were saying this constantly. It's very annoying when you're talking to your supervisor. But now I'm a mother of 2 children, and they both go to school. So I sort of became member of the, I guess you could call it PTA. It's not really exactly that, but it's something in that sort. Again, fantastic place filled with sensory feelers. Nothing against them, but normally I don't know, a couple of years ago I would never ever have considered to join these people. And I don't mean these people, the sensor feelers, but more a group consisting of mostly people whom I have not very much in common with, and who don't really often understand my type of humor. I think they find me a bit odd, and sometimes a bit abrupt, because when I propose to send shorter emails, it's, oh no, it's going to be impolite, and so it's a whole thing. But still, I must admit, it comes from a logical place as well, of course. Like, okay, my children are going to go there for a prolonged period of time, so the investment I put in this group into making this school better and helping earn money for stuff, basically my children have profit from that as well, so it's kind of opportunistic, but it's not the only reason I'm doing this. It's also because there are a lot of people from our neighborhood. To be honest, I don't know any people here. It's not that I don't care, but I talk with them and I forget them instantly. It's more my husband that says, hey, he's the one that lives there and he's the one that lives there. I haven't got a clue. That's kind of annoying. I'm trying to change that. Again, it's all of these things might seem, if you're an FE dom or secondary, or maybe just someone that's kind of that has normal people skills, maybe for you this is all very, I don't understand what the big fuss is about, but for me it is. I've never really experienced this urge to connect with people, and I don't mean with good ideas, but with people. Normally when I do that, it's, I want to connect with people as long as they have something interesting to tell me. Here it's, of course, that will never go away. I mean, I can only take this much of, how was the weather, hello, stuff like that. But the desire to feel connected to society is a lot more present than I'm accustomed to, which is kind of an odd observation. This leading me to, again, briefly wonder whether I haven't mistyped myself. So, yay, that was a long time ago. You never know. I mean, I always say I'm like 99 or 98 point something % certain about my type, but you never know. You never know. So you always have to leave like a teensy tiny bit of wiggle room. Also, one of the other reasons I was thinking that, because the feeling, wanting to feel connected, I think that's maybe more FE, correct me if I'm wrong, but it can be FI as well, I think. I feel one of the, I think, stereotypes going around, but something I kind of see and have confirmed in people that if I effectively know have FI, is that they can kind of easily feel, I'm not going to say offended, because that makes me think of Steve Hughes' skit, but more, yeah, I don't know, maybe offended is the right word. And I read a lot of things about NTs being one of the most difficult ones to offend, and I get where that's coming from, but I don't experience it that way. I think of myself as being quite often offended by something. Offended is I don't know whether it's exactly what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it's English, so I'm doing my best, but it's possible I'm not conveying exactly the right thing I'm trying to say. It's more when I propose, for example, to do something, or when I propose a certain way of doing something, and it's shut down, I can really have this biting, annoying thing inside me. Ugh, what do you know? it's a vicious thing. I mean, it's a feeling I almost never. I don't think I ever experienced it in another setting than that. Only when is it FI? When I explained it to my friend, because I was trying to analyze what the feeling was. Yes, she said, I don't know. It sounds to me like FI, but for me it's such a natural reaction. I don't really think about it, and I was wondering whether anybody, if you can tell me, would I be more prone to act on it if it comes from FI, or are these two things just completely unrelated? I don't know. It just seems odd with all the things I read, but maybe I was thinking maybe it's TI, because TI in socionics known as subjective logic. TI is very. I notice it's very often when people say something about me, I mean my person or my, I don't know. I'm not going to say it never bothers me or it doesn't hurt me, especially when it are opinions about my personality, but I'm not easily offended about when it comes to that. But when it comes to my, I don't know, maybe my ideas or my theories or something I thought out, and somebody goes, nah, that shit, yeah, it kind of stings. Normally I'm not going to act on it, but it's kind of a, in Dutch we say een bittere pil. So maybe in English, a bitter pill to swallow. Is that used? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Is that FI? She tried to explain it to me today. My friend is an ENFP, by the way, so that's why I'm, although doubting sometimes, quite certain. No, I don't know. I have this feeling to want to be connected, but on the other hand, I also have this urge arising to be more organized. So that's why I don't know. Maybe I have TE, but I can't really imagine having TE. I don't think I'm structured enough for TE. Maybe I just like TI. Okay, sorry about that. I see that I'm talking 15 minutes almost again. Alright, so I'm going to stop. If you have thoughts, comments, things you think I blatantly got wrong, or maybe a link you can provide me to, I don't know, give me a bit more insight. Of course, I've read like a gazillion things already, but I never mind reading more. So if you have more data, please hit me. And bye. Toodaloo.